Now back to Inside West Virginia Politics with Mark Curtis.
And welcome back to Inside West Virginia Politics. As this weekend goes on, we continue our discussion of proposed tax reforms here in the state of West Virginia. We've heard from the Republican governor. How about a Democratic delegate? Let me introduce Jim Barach, Democrat of Kanawha County. Of course, you don't need much of an introduction, at least in the Charleston, Huntington viewing area. Longtime television meteorologist in this market, now a member of the House of Delegates. First of all, congratulations on your election.
Thank you.
Your thoughts on the governor's plan to eventually eliminate or phase out the income tax?
Yes, well, first of all, thanks for having me on. Good to be on your show. I'm very concerned about this because this is just a return to supply-side economics. We have not seen it work anywhere. The trickle-down theory, we tried it in the Reagan administration. We had huge deficits. Both Bushes tried it, huge deficits. Donald Trump tried it, huge deficits. And you can get away with that in the federal government, but in the state government, we can't have a deficit. And I used to live in Kansas many years ago, and they tried this in 2012. They tried the Kansas experiment, and it was a huge failure. They cut out many of their taxes, including their income tax. They cut it down quite a bit, and they ended up, their schools fell apart. They had to borrow money from their highway system, so their roads fell apart, and this is just to make ends meet. And once they ended that plan in 2017, they got back into the black. So it did not work.
The governor counters this, and this is unusual for a Republican, a 1.5 cent increase in the state sales tax to offset it, and taxes on more tobacco taxes, taxes on sugary drinks. I mean, a lot of these Republicans ran on pledges of no new taxes. What do you think about trying to backfill what we lose in the income tax with increasing the sales tax and the other measures?
Well, the taxes on tobacco and sugar, I'm in favor of, because it'll get people to cut back on those, and I'm a soda drinker, so I'll gladly pay the tax. But when you talk about a sales tax, you're talking about a regressive tax, because more people at the lower end of the economic spectrum pay a higher amount of their money in sales tax. They spend more of their money, so it affects the poor people more. And we already have a regressive tax system here. State and local taxes are already regressive in West Virginia. When you talk about, even with an income tax and our sales tax, property tax, people towards the bottom end of the economic spectrum are paying about 10%, and people towards the upper end are paying about 7%. And that's not fair. We should have it the other way around, where the people with more money are kicking in a little bit more to the till.
Let's talk about a completely different subject that has a lot of interest out there, and that's we have a newly elected president in Congress. We're expecting another COVID-19 aid package. What is West Virginia? What do the people of the state need from Washington, D.C. on this next CARES Act package?
I would like to see a lot of the money that we get distributed to, we have such a problem in the difference in health care that people get across the region. We got our poor areas and our more wealthy areas, and these poor rural areas, I would like to see more health care offered to these people. First of all, get the vaccine out to the rural areas, and we're doing a good job of that. I got to say that this state has done a very good job in getting the vaccines out. We're supposedly #1 in the country, and that's great. But I'd like to see people offered money to help with their health care during this time.
Yeah, speaking of which, I mean, we've lost a lot of rural hospitals that simply shut their doors. And CAMC, which is the giant healthcare operator here in the Kanawha Valley, is short by $34 million compared to this time last year, and we're down to a minute. So talk about aid to maybe the hospitals coming from the federal government.
Well, yeah, anything we can get. We are a poor state, and we're a lot of the money coming in to our area hospitals is through like PEIA and through Medicare and things like that, and they just don't pay very well. They don't pay a lot. When you look at how insurance pays, some of these state insurance and federal government insurance agencies don't pay as much of a percentage. So you do a $20,000 procedure, and maybe a regular health insurance company, they negotiate that down to maybe $15,000. Well, PEIA and Medicare, they might pay $5,000 $7,000 on that. So these hospitals take a hit on that.
Former weatherman, why did you run for the House of Delegates, and how do you like it so far?
Well, I love it. It's a big learning curve. I'm learning a lot, and I ran because I've always had an interest in politics. I've always wanted to serve the public, and I think the state needs a lot of help in getting things on track. And I love every minute of it. We're a super minority. We're not getting anything done that we're trying to do, but I get to talk with these people and try to get things. We're trying to get the message out about where we'd like to see the state go. So I'm really having a very good time.
I thank Delegate Jim Barach, Democrat, Kanawha County, for joining us. We'll have you back in the program in the future.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
More of Inside West Virginia Politics after this break.